we want to remember that an innocent child is not the property of the legal state, and therefore that's why there's no provision in the Canadian legal system for an individual to transfer their given names to anyone for any purpose. That's the same thing in any system right across the board. So just don't think it's isolated to Canada. If your given name, your God-given name, which is natural, truthful, was transferable to the state, well then Satan could own you. He doesn't own you, and neither does his lawyers. So an innocent child is not the property of the state, and therefore truth does not belong to fiction. And fiction is not greater than truth. So when we look at the book of Proverbs, we've read out of this before, we have to understand that this is a system that's based on the accuser of God's people called Satan. This is an occultist system. They are practicing and worshiping Satan, and they are giving him allegiance. They work with him, they swear an oath to him, and they even have a Bible in England called the Book of Deviling. So do not misunderstand the power of these individuals when you're playing around in their sandbox of evil and lies. And many people have tried to think that they were going to take them down by playing in their sandbox and have found out otherwise. You have to break completely free in order to basically have the power of God. You have to renounce the world, the temporal world, and anything that goes with it, which means all legal title, all legal fictitious assets you think you basically accumulated, because they're not yours. And in reality and truth, the real possession of them is basically in a natural state, because there is no fictitious title in nature. There is no debt in nature. Therefore, anything that they accumulated was unjust enrichment to begin with. But you can't play in claiming the same title and receive remedy. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any spiritual, moral, conscious sense. So when we go to the book of Proverbs, when it says in verse 10 of Proverbs 1, "My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. If they say, Come with us, let us lay wait for blood. Let us lurk privily for the innocent without cause. Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those who go down to the pit. We shall find all precious substance. We shall fill our houses with spoil. Cast in thy lot among us. Let us all have one purse." This is what the legal system is offering. It offers, especially those that perpetrate the fraud, remuneration for committing the fraud. And so they practice deceit and theft and the occult to do it, and spells and lies. And God will frustrate the tokens of the liars, according to Isaiah 44:25. And because these little tokens of value, that they call them, these issuance of, individual legal identity legal tender, are the responsibility of the state and their legal lawyers, their den of vipers. They are responsible for the debt. And therefore, they will bear the burden, because they will reap what they sow. But not when you are consenting to basically operating a lie. And therefore, only the ability to end the fraud will come upon you, because you were the innocent child without cause, and they actually insinuated a legal title upon you and proceeded on you, basically pleading guilty to black letter hearsay, and you just walked in and took it, and then walked into an insurance policy to basically insure the risk of your activity, holding a title that does not belong to you.